For 100 years, the United Way of Buffalo and Erie County has been committed to making this community the best place to live for everyone. This is our story.
The first 10 years of the United Way experience was a very rapidly changing and dynamic time. And as a result, by 1927, there were already 25 charitable organizations that were receiving funding.
Joint Charities was making an impact on the neediest members of our community. But soon, the largest economic recession in U.S. history would change the region forever.
Remember, we didn't live in what we would call a welfare state today. We believed that charities should take care of everything, and if you have 5% of the population not working, I suppose that's possible. But when you're talking about upwards of 1/3 of the people in Buffalo not working, that's catastrophic.
With thousands of people now in need of aid, Joint Charities needed new ways to raise funds. At the suggestion of labor unions, workers began contributing a small portion of each paycheck to the Joint Charities campaign.
Clearly, organized labor saw the need to step up and support communities and support families and to support the working individual that was a member of that institution.
It allowed people to make small contributions on a weekly basis that added up to a substantial contribution by the end of the year. They may not have had $104 to give to the United Way at any one point in time, but they had $2 a week.
Unable to maintain advertising costs, Joint Charities turned to other methods to spread the word.
For every person who made a donation, we ought to give them a red feather and have them put it in their hat and demonstrate their charitable giving back to the community. We didn't know at the time that it would be such a highly successful way of not only recognizing the donor, but conveying the importance and encouragement for others to give as well. And it was such a successful campaign that it was for many, many years called the Red Feather Campaign.
I think that Buffalo is in many regards a perfect ideal of a city that was able to help pull itself out of the Depression. You saw people in the community come together, but World War II is what got us out of the Depression.
Like the very first Joint Charities campaign in 1917, wartime made the need for charitable donations even more important. And with the entire home front part of the war effort, helping the neediest members of our community became just as important as supplying the troops. In 1942, Joint Charities, now renamed the United War and Community Fund, once again joined forces with other charities to boost the impact of their work.
The National War Fund became the focus of the Joint Charities work that was done, and it was symbolic in that it was during wartime. And as a result, people knew that if they were investing in this National War Fund, they were investing back in their community where people whose lives were being affected could have access to services that they maybe could not have had access to without these charitable gifts.
As part of the War Fund in 1942, our campaign raised over $1 million for the first time. Thanks to the overwhelming amount of employment in the area, and in gratitude for the help that many had received during the Depression, more workers were now donating each month via payroll deduction.
When you have a war that affects so many people, it captures the attention of those who want to give back and want to support their friends and neighbors. And this is one of the reasons why the campaign has grown and continues to grow year after year in support of the community.
The Allies declared victory in 1945, finally ending a war that had overtaken the world for 6 long years. But now, the Community Fund faced an unforeseen challenge. How will the return of troops, coupled with the dwindling need for war manufacturing, affect Erie County? And will we be able to tackle the challenges that come with it?